Welcome back, everybody. Very excited to talk to our next guest. Always a thrill when we get to talk to the great Ricky Williams, and he spent some time with us. Ricky, thanks for hopping on again. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So can you explain what Heisman is getting into, this psilocybin space? You're taking people on journeys. Explain this, Ricky. You guys are going into a new avenue here?
It might seem new, but as the world changes, it's not so new. You know, the term that people use, and I like this term, is plant medicine. You know, and so it started with me, and it's a unlikely path. It started with me with cannabis, and everyone knows I got into a whole lot of trouble. But when I got into trouble and I had some time off, I started traveling around the world and studying these things, because I was like, if I'm going to get in trouble for it, I better at least understand what I'm getting in trouble for. It really is just an extension of my path, and realizing that it helped me so much that I'm in a position to help other people on a similar path. And it's not for everyone, you know, it's not for everyone, but a lot of us, we feel something deeply missing in our lives, and we can't seem to find it anywhere in the external world. And plant medicine can help us find these things inside.
Yeah, so explain, because for a novice like myself, going on a psychedelic journey, which, like, it sounds very interesting. What like how is it different? Like, what have you noticed that you get out of this as opposed to cannabis or with cannabis?
Yeah, the great question. So you know, you can think of it as intensity, you know. And for me, cannabis is like a daily vitamin, you know. And what's becoming popular now in psilocybin, what they call is microdosing, which is they're taking the dosage way down, and they're turning it more into a daily vitamin. And so the sessions that we'll be offering are different levels. There's the microdose for someone who just wants to take the edge off, you know? And it's like if you've ever been with your partner, you know, you're having like a tense conversation and you're already on edge a little bit, you just get defensive and it doesn't go anywhere. But maybe if you guys have had a glass of wine, you know, your guard comes down a little bit, and it's easier to have that conversation. Right? Just turn up the intensity so you can get to more things if you're more at ease and you're not so defensive, and you can have a different perspective about different things that have happened in your life or different things that you've experienced, because your guard is down and your mind is a little bit more open. And that's where I come in. You know, it's one of the things that I've been studying for 20 years is astrology. And astrology and psychedelics, they have a lot in common. They both, so the word psychedelic, it means soul revealing. Right. And the point of looking at someone's astrology chart is to understand what makes them tick or what's inside of them. And so I'll have someone's chart, and, you know, however intense they want to go in the journey, I'll sit with them and it'll help facilitate the conversation. And if someone just wants to sit there quietly the whole time, that's fine too. So it's really about taking the progressive laws in the state of Oregon, which now allows for legal therapeutic psilocybin sessions, and bringing my expertise together and really creating a space for people to come and feel safe to do this kind of work.
So we've heard, like, and I'm not abreast to a lot of the stuff you're talking to, but I do get where you're coming from. Does this have a same type of, you know, mindset as, say, when Aaron Rodgers said, I went and did ayahuasca? Because it's amazing. It's amazing that 15 years ago you said the same damn thing, and now we're looking at him like, oh, he's cool, he's hip, he's this.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, times have changed. Times have changed. And out in the world right now, the big craze is not even cannabis anymore, right? That's kind of in the background, but it's more the general conversation. I think cannabis opened the door to this conversation, but it's more the general conversation about plant medicine. And again, it's not all plants, but it's just a typical term for psychedelics, you know, and realizing that a lot of the Western medical model of pharmaceuticals, it works for some people, but for a lot of people, most people, it just makes them worse. And so it's really, even cannabis, right? The real drive in this direction has really been a push towards health and wellness. Right. And I think that's what's helped people kind of get rid of the stigma of the substance of abuse side of the story.
Ricky, we're going out to opening day this week. You like Leroy, drafted in baseball. Did you play a little minor league baseball? I don't remember if you ended up going that path or not, but how much did you ever think about the path of not taking baseball? You obviously, both you and Leroy, very good, but talented in multiple sports. Did you ever think about the what if of going the whole way with baseball?
All the time. So, I grew up in San Diego. I was a huge Padres fan, huge Tony Gwynn fan. And I was true story, 7 years old, sitting in my room, listening to the Padres on the radio. So I was a baseball guy.
Man.
And I thought that when I was 7, I thought I was going to be a professional baseball player. And so I had that idea until I started playing minor league baseball. And then
wait, can I tell you what happened? I'm gonna tell you what happened. Right?
Yeah,
you ready?
Yeah, please.
You're like, man, this could take forever. Right? It don't matter how good you are. At least I know with football, I'm gonna know right away.
Is 100% is gonna take forever and playing every day. Okay. And again, for some people, they love it. I played with Jimmy Rollins in the minors. So I played 4 summers in the minors. I played with Jimmy Rollins in the minors. And playing with Jimmy, that's how I knew I wasn't a baseball player. Because when I was in Little League, we only played twice a week. I couldn't wait. I wake up on Saturday morning, first thing in the morning, I have my cleats on, have my glove. Couldn't wait to go to the park. Even in high school, played 3 times a week. I loved it. I got to the minors, and you play every day. Man, I got to the point where I would walk into the clubhouse and I look at the start of the lineup and hope I wasn't on the lineup that day. And so I'm the kind of person, I need days off. I do things so intensely is I need days off to recover, and then I can give you everything. But this everyday kind of grind, I'm too streaky for it. Like I got red hot one summer, and then I went 0 for July. And it was,
hey, brutal. Can I tell you, is it hard, like, to explain to people that we played in the only 100% sport, so that you watch film, if you graded out at 80 to low 90s, your coach was giving you the side eye. Whereas if a baseball or a basketball player was at 35, 40%, they were on the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And just the whole attitude of how you went about things. So was it harder to deal with when you went 0 for July because you had played football, and football is a perfect sport?
Yeah, it was brutal. Going back and forth. Again, if I was just in one, I think if I was only focused on baseball, I think I would have stayed at that speed. But literally, I would leave spring practice. We finished the semester. I'd drive to Clearwater, Florida. I would do like 3 weeks to get in baseball shape, and then they would send me to whatever season was already in process. And then as soon as the season was over, I go back to Austin. I'd have like a week off, and then football training camp started. So I literally was going back and forth, back and forth. It was great because I got to miss, off-season training in Austin, and I came back in like great shape for football season.
One of the big things this week, Ricky, they banned the hip drop tackle in the NFL. They're trying to make things safer. What was your reaction? A lot of the defenders obviously pissed online about it because they say, "Oh, just put the flags on them already." What do you make about them changing the rules again to try and keep injuries as rare as possible?
That's the play that knocked Tua out, right?
It's similar, yeah. He kind of got dragged and thrown suplex a couple times.
Yes,
it happened to him a couple times when he got carted off, and then against Green Bay when nobody knew that he was concussed till after.
Yeah, I get it, but to me that falls on the referees to blow the whistle,
right?
Because so much of the game. I understand they're trying to make it safer, but so much of the game is instinctive. And when you get guys not being instinctive because they don't want to get a penalty, then I think you're gonna lose something valuable.
But here it is, Ricky. That's basically a horse collar tackle, but you're just tackling somewhere else. So instead of grabbing them by the collar, you're grabbing the shoulder pads, and it's still the same concept. And I don't know why, everybody's flipping out on it. You can still tackle from behind, just don't do us like cattle.
Yeah.
Right. And for them, because guess what? Think about this. The thing I look forward to, because I got hit on every play. So did you. Even that little chip, a little bump, somebody trying to intimidate you on every play.
Yeah.
So guess what? When a pass was being thrown and you were just lollygagging around and running around, I would use that opportunity to get some get back.
Yeah.
That's a penalty. That's the only opportunity I have to hit somebody.
Yeah.
So you're gonna take that out, and I get it, and I understand it. We can't hit them low. We can't cut block you because you're not paying attention, right? So why wouldn't they try to take any part of the horse collar out? You can tackle somebody from behind without dragging them down like cattle. Stop acting ridiculous like, oh my goodness, no, we can't tackle them. Well, we can't touch y'all, and they run around. Look, they don't even have to wear pads because they don't have to worry about getting hit.
Yeah. So, there's some parts of the game I look at and I'm like, man, I'd love to play. But some parts of the game I'd be like, I couldn't do it. I would get flagged a lot. When I played, I got flagged a lot because, like you said, those opportunities for get back, I was looking for them.
People don't see, don't realize that, you know what? That's your only opportunity to get some payback, right? Or when there's an interception and you chasing the play and somebody turn around and knock you. Yeah. So if you're going to take that out, right? Take it out all the way. And they did that. But to still see people getting hurt the same way. And then to say, we family or whatever, you can't get hit like that. A defender can't get hit like that. Get drug up and have your knees snap because somebody put all their weight on your back. So I don't know what the big deal. You can still tackle. They just whining.
Yeah. I don't know though. The weapon I had in my back pocket was the cup block.
What? Yes.
Oh, what? I'm telling you, I get cussed out so many times.
What about
knees in my back?
Hey, was the worst drill in camp? Was one-on-one blocking drill because all you was get bull rush.
It's not fair. Yes, right. I hated that drill.
They never have to worry about getting cut, so they would just bull rush you. And the smallest one was 250.
Yeah,
and your coach yelling at you, fight! I'm like, he's bigger.
Yeah, that's the drill where you see who's gonna stick around in the running back room and who's not gonna be around.
Ricky, a couple more before we get you out of here. Mention the Dolphins. You were a part of a Dolphins team that just never kind of lived up to the expectations. Everybody was, you guys had a couple Super Bowl predictions and didn't quite get there. I don't know what the Dolphins this era right now, they're improving, but they kind of fell flat again. There's still no playoff wins in 24 years. From the outside looking in, what do you think the fans' patience level should be right now with this era of Mike McDaniel and Tua and Tyreek Hill? You think that this can be a team that gets even further over the hump?
Here's my theory about it, okay? Because I was on those, like you said, those Dolphin teams, and I think at the end of the season, regardless of what the record is, the big question is, do we still want to keep fighting with each other? Do we still want to stay here and keep on going? And I think that's something that you have to train. So the 1 year I was in Baltimore, there was not any doubt in anyone's mind that we were going to the playoffs. We were talking about how are we going to get past the Patriots? Right? We were talking about that week one, and we didn't mean it in the season. We made it in the playoffs. So there's the teams that spite. They'll have a really good year and they'll go far in the playoffs, and there's all these expectations. But it's really a mentality, and I think that the Dolphins are taking steps to get there. And I think this year is gonna be the year. Because to me, it almost felt like they were so happy to have gotten to the playoffs and put up big numbers and perform so well that they didn't have that hunger or that gas in the tank to go to the next level. But once you've been there and you see, okay, we can do this, right? And you start to think, now you're thinking not let's get to the playoffs, but okay, right? How far in the playoffs can we go? I think it requires that shift in mentality. And we'll see in the first 4 weeks if the Dolphins have made that shift.
Isn't it weird that, so this is on basically what you're talking about. If you're going to be a championship contender, you have to learn how to train your body for 20 weeks of football and not just 17. And there's so many teams that train for 17 weeks. Like you said, you were talking about getting past the Patriots in week one. So your preparation during the course of the season was for that, either your game planning, your conditioning, how you go about doing things or whatever. When you're new to it, you balling out for them 17 weeks because you ain't been there. And then the old veteran team that been sitting back come in and you better than them, but you just have nothing.
That's real. Yeah. And also when you're only thinking 17 weeks, by the time you get to like 15, you're just thinking, I can't wait. I can't wait to go home. I can't wait to go home.
Ricky, we appreciate the time, man. Thank you always for being generous with your time with us, and best of luck with your project with Heisman and the silo sessions going on. If you guys want to book a session with Ricky, silosesh.com is where you can do it. Anything else you want to let people know about it, Ricky?
Yeah, check out the website. We got a bunch of information. And it's just cool, right? And even if it's not you, but you know someone who's into this kind of stuff, pass it on, because this is the new wave and we're getting started early.
Thank you, Ricky.
Thanks, Ricky.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, see you guys.